因為我睇到我哋嘅評核機制咧，好多咧係偏於好嗰方面嘅好多嘅，偏於啲唔較為譬如評級低嘅係好少嘅。咁樣咧，我覺得咧就好難令到部門首長又好，喺我哋遴選升級嘅時候，去決定邊個好與唔好咯。因為如果有一個好好嘅評級，因為我哋而家分6級嘅，如果6級我哋有好好嘅分佈，我哋就好容易睇到屬於1級優良嘅，屬於2級又係表現好嘅，我喺嗰度去推薦佢去升級，容易好多啦。而家咧差唔多個個都係咁咧，咁又好難嘅。咁亦都唔公道喎！我咁辛苦咁勤力啊，我同隔離嗰個佢都係日日閒嘅，都一樣都係俾個 C 我或者 B 我，咁我好唔順氣噶嘛。咁我覺得唔公道，我自己都經歷過啦，係咪？我哋逐級升嘅，咁所以咧有一個好公道嘅評核機制係好重要嘅。咁當然啦，呢個唔容易嘅，所以公務事務局要諗嘅。咁我相信咧亦都會同公務員大家溝通下。點樣將呢個評核機制咧更加公道？我哋講公道啫，同埋更加清晰化，令到咧我哋真真正正咧，我哋譬如分開6級，就應該有翻一個幾清晰嘅等級嘅區分性啊！如果我哋分3級，亦都應該係咁樣去令到我哋決定提名邊個去升級，呢個工作都叫做得更有效啦。而家最緊要咧，一個唔公平嘅評核機制咧，會導致好有心、好勤力、好投入工作嘅公務員咧係唔公平嘅。絕大部分嘅公務員咧都係優秀嘅。咁所以你睇到我哋，所以喺世界評級裏邊，我哋點解係第2個原因就係咁啦。所以我哋將所有嘢都制度化，係增加市民對我哋信心，亦都增加透明度同埋肯定性，令到我哋公務員都明白幾時會係第1級，幾時會第2級。另外關於我呢度有提及咧，我哋會係盡量幫助傳媒咧去推廣佢喺香港以外嘅服務。2個原因嘅。因為咧，我覺得我哋香港嘅媒體係優秀，有好多值得我哋去發揚光大嘅。另外咧就係、我亦都知道傳媒而家喺營運方面啦，都係面對不同方面嘅壓力嘅。咁如果我可以去幫助佢哋開拓市場，因為我既然同好多做商業嘅，我開拓市場。我亦都希望幫助埋，我覺得我哋香港好多嘅專業媒體咧，同樣咧係開拓市場，去説好香港嘅故事。第3咧就係媒體其實佢有自己嘅網絡嘅，佢同外國嘅媒體又好，內地嘅媒體有一個網絡咧。如果我哋可以強化呢個網絡咧，去説好香港故事咧，係更加有效嘅。所以我哋要逐步嚟啦，當然係。今次我係第一次好認真思考點樣可以喺呢方面咧，將香港咁多好嘅嘢去推展去香港以外嘅地方，一齊共同説好香港故事。呢個亦都表示我哋香港團結一齊去發揮力量，係其中一個我嘅信念。
好，左手邊男記者第2行。
首先好明報嘅，我有2個問題。第一咧係喺北都咧，你賦予有唔少嘅特別處理啦，或者甚至專屬嘅法律啦。其實喺定位上咧，呢個會唔會成為咗一個即係所謂特區中嘅特區咧？我哋點樣去防止一啲利益咧係過分傾斜於某啲人或者某啲企業或者某一類嘅企業咧，同埋令佢哋接受問責，同埋即係喺呢個過程當中係可以接受問責同埋公眾嘅監察咧？其實你有提到咧，唔同嘅園區公司或者法定機構咧，肯定會多於1個啦。其實係咪因為政府咧意識到當中涉及龐大嘅利益，係要防止利益咧係過分集中，透過即係多過一個機構咧達至呢個制衡咧？第二咧就係喺重點企業咧有提及話可以提供稅務優惠啦。我哋係咪可以理解咧？可能個別某啲重點嘅企業咧係政府可以收咧低過標準稅率嘅 即係呢個安排咧？即係呢個機制係點樣運作咧？同埋會唔會對香港嘅企業本身係即係唔公平咧？唔該。
北都發展係我哋一個戰略嘅地位嚟嘅。1/3香港嘅土地，未來有3%嘅人口，將佢盡快發展好，盡快有好嘅產業進駐，對整個香港一定係好。大家嘅收入可以提升，好多優質嘅工，我哋居住嘅環境亦都會咁樣帶動，香港亦都會再升呢。咁所以咧，北部都會區嘅發展，我真係心急如焚。好啦，我點樣可以令到佢發展得快啲咧？大家都講啊嘛，拆牆鬆綁。拆牆鬆綁，如果行政措施做得嘅就做咯。但係當然咧，有一啲咧係開創性嘅咧，我哋用法律基礎做咧，既係透明，第二好有規矩，亦都係經過立法會討論。好啦，香港好多法律，無論我喺北部都會區建立咗一個專屬法律都好啦，專屬法律咧應該講明邊啲領域係專屬法律適用嘅。如果喺專屬法律冇提嘅咧，當然其他法律適用咧。好簡單嚟講，打劫罪冇理由因為喺北都唔係一個打劫罪㗎嘛，冇可能嘅。所以絕大部分嘅法律咧都同樣適用喺北都，所有法律都適用喺北都。不過喺發展方面，我哋想快，咁我哋喺發展方面有冇啲法律俾咗我哋啲權力可以加快咧？例如我哋要建立一個法定機構，而家我哋去立法會去做一個獨立嘅法律。如果我哋大家都認同，可唔可以用譬如附屬法例可以做到呢樣嘢咧？但係我定下啲框架咧，呢啲就係話我講嘅加快嘅一啲方法。但係有法律基礎，就是確保剛才你提及會唔會有一啲唔符合香港利益嘅嘢。北部都會區咁大，從好多理由一定係要多頭發展。1/3嘅土地如果由一間公司去管理咧，當然我覺得道理上大家都擔心嘅，係嘛？即係有1/3個香港，差唔多由單一一個機構去主宰晒，呢個咧係我覺得唔係符合香港嘅最好嘅利益嘅。最好嘅利益咧，第一，引入競爭，第二係針對項目邊一方面有專長嘅有經驗嘅，我哋去幫佢另外嘅性質完全唔同嘅，咁係另外一種營運模式。我哋喺社會裏面都咁多種不同嘅公司架構去針對不同嘅發展嘅，所以呢一個咧係絕對係確保香港嘅整體利益係受保障。但係咧，咁大嘅投資一定要涉及資金，咁商界喺呢方面咧一定係有參與嘅角色啦。但係政府同商界共同發展，必然係我哋要走嘅路。呢個係結合高效市場同埋有為政府必須要做嘅。我哋會確保所有利益都係符合我哋香港，包括法律同埋整體利益。第二咧係我哋做政策包，做個政策包咧，其實係聽到好多諮詢意見咧，就係話香港我哋同人哋傾項目，有嗰陣時傾到咁上下，有一啲係優惠嘅政策例如佢要批土地要咁大土地，佢嘅資金佢只可以投咁多，咁佢又想政府投入一啲又想用其他嘅方法。咁我哋個政策包嘅意思就係話咧，我哋係好多已經準備好不同領域嘅政策都決定咗啦，變咗佢喺公共工具箱裏邊咧好多工具，差唔多可以同人傾落戶嘅細節啦。最後翻嚟就由財政司司長或者我拍板，咁就快啦。嗱，我哋喺搶企業嗰方面咧係成功嘅。但係人哋都搶其中一個企業咧， 我哋同佢接觸都唔止一個企業咧，都講某啲優惠政策，第啲地方俾到我哋俾唔到嘅。點解你俾唔到喺香港咁？咁其實有一啲咧係我哋嘅抉擇過程係慢咗。咁實際嘅內容係咩咧？當然啦，我哋嘅財政司長會研究嘅，但係我哋係會符合國際喺呢方面嘅有關稅務嘅要求嘅。細節係點要交俾專家，因為我喺政策方面咧，我想克服嘅一點係咩咧？我唔會輸俾任何係純粹關於時間或者程序上邊嘅任何比他人弱嘅地方，我唔會容許。即係話我同你競爭，我起碼你有個工具箱，我有，我唔會讓我工具箱少咗個工具，冇我就建立呢個工具。呢啲係咩工具？點用？我可能同佢未必完全一致，但係佢如果有螺絲批，我有螺絲批；佢有鉗，我有鉗。我呢啲咧就係確保工具箱有就所有工具。
好，下條提問，右手邊第二行嘅男記者係。
行政長官您好，中央廣播電視總台記者，感謝您接受我們的提問。北部都會區呢被視為香港未來發展的新引擎，也是您這次施政報告當中的一個最重要的一個篇章啊。請問您這次專門成立了由您領導的北部都會區的發展的委員會，並制定加快發展北都的專屬的政策，對香港融入國家發展大局以及未來構建南金融北創科的這樣的新產業佈局有怎樣的戰略意義？第二就是您今年的施政報告當中也提出呢，香港未來要更注重是走出去，把握新機遇。那麼您請問呢，這個政府在這一次的這個拓展東盟以及中東的這個相關的新興市場，爭取加入 RCEP 的這樣的一個新的舉措，您有哪些預期的目標？同時呢，對於推動香港的金融轉型以及鞏固提升國際樞紐地位有怎樣的促進作用？謝謝。
北部都會區是佔了香港面積1/3，也是我們以後1/3人口入住的地方。最重要的，我不是只發展北部都會區作為一個住的地方，產業很重要。你看到我施政報告裡面有一個產業的專章，就是要改變整個香港發展的方向。當然，我們很多傳統企業都很成功，行業方面我們金融很成功，我們貿易很成功，航運也很成功。但是很多都是服務業方面的、實質方面的產業，我覺得很重要。這個也是確保我們在經濟這個不穩定的時候，我們有自己一些實業呢，去鞏固我們的生產。而且最重要是保住我們的就業，確保我們的就業元素穩定。那麼產業去推動呢有兩個方向，一個是引進，一個是培養我自己的產業吧。兩個都做我就多元去做，什麼成功就做。所以我是很認真的去開創了產業的政策。產業政策呢，當然現在我覺得呢，引進一些高增值新興行業呢，對香港的經濟發展推動最大。所以我引進的一個飛機拆件的公司，這個是我覺得可能是全球唯一或者唯二的一個公司，在我們亞太區裡面發展的空間無限，而且有上游下游的聯動的作用呢，是很大的幫助。另外呢，我們在製藥方面，我覺得我們優勢，因為我們醫療水平還不錯，而且我們跟內地合作呢，數據方面也有優勢呢。藥品最重要就是試驗的時候的成果是怎麼樣，所以引進一些製藥的企業也是我的產業重點之一。另外呢，新興行業有一個可持續能源航空能源 SAF， 這個已經是世界走的方向了，肯定的了吧？我們香港有個企業呢，它的這個產量也佔了世界的第2位， 所以它是有实力、有竞争力的。我就这个也是开创性的，我又协同它跟内地的政府谈合作的信息，因为很多它生产能源的这个元素呢，都要在内地去找到，所以从政府跟政府去谈，我觉得方便它，那么帮助它就要不但是把它壮大起来，把它网络都生产起来，而且也是有中下游联动的作用，所以这个很重要。氢能，我觉得我们内地城市发展是很先进的，制造方面特别成功。那么我们就优势互补吧，香港也有国际化程序嘛，产品在示范性的有它的优势，也是我们出海平台的。但另外一个我在施政报告谈到的，做一个氢能的走廊，因为广东省如果它是氢能的运用输送，或者是货车用这个氢能的货车，以后可能越来越多了。我觉得走势是很有可能性的。那么我们香港跟内地城市怎么优势互补，先建好我们这些基础所以一个走廊是重要的。这个就是产业的重要性。当然，我们本地产业，包括我的修品我们的渔业农业我都是帮助他们的产业化，所以这个是多元的发展。另外呢，开创新市场，这是我3年以来都一直做的。所以中东开创的不错，但是还是空间无限东盟也是更有可能性因为我们距离很近，往来很频繁，而且在我们大家交往，我的感觉大家都有共同意愿，就是区域方面呢，大家合作呢有很多不同的空间都可以发展的。所以从东盟方面呢，我们肯定会加大的。包括呢，我们金融已经有20个不同地方的交易所跟我们已经大家呼应了，就可以在2个市场大家第2上市等等。所以在东盟方面的空间也是无限，但是还有走大的，我就想除了传统的市场，包括欧洲、美国以外呢，中亚也是一个新的市场，也是男有心女有意的。这个很重要，因为在谈项目也好，谈交往也好，大家都有共同意愿，就很快谈好了吧。就好像我以前追我太太的话，如果她不听我电话，我没可能性吧。但是现在呢，就东盟的国家有兴趣，我们也有兴趣，那就很容易嘛。所以这个是开创性。另外呢，就是扩大我们这个航空网络。因为现在呢，我们在货运方面我们的机场已经世界排名第1，超过10年。加上呢，如果我们把网络都扩大一点，我们发展空间更大了。所以在发展方面呢，我这一次呢就做出长远的部署。产业发展，我希望从结构上去改变。我举个例子，在重点企业Oasis 这个办公室，重点企业办公室，他们已经招来了84个重点企业，他们带来的投资500个亿。那么投资很大，而且开创2万个机位所以如果产业做得好，我们的工作岗位会更多，收入会更多，生活会提升而且国际上对香港的注意力会更大。所以如果你看的话呢，我希望你看北部都会区的发展跟产业发展一起看。当然产业发展不单是北部都会区， 它也可以在其他的地方，但是我希望是利用我们这个1/3的土地去开创新的产业。所以刚才不同的问题谈到我们产业园，如果是科技的产业园，我新田科技城啊，210公顷，一个公司，第一，我对它的信心，如果我有几个一起竞争的，可能他们都会做得更好，而且把所有的鸡蛋都放在一个篮子上，也不是太好，所以就拿这个新田科技城，起码我们可以把它分开3个大的地段，一个地段里面都可以有多过一个公司，一个可以是政府的公司，一个是可以法定的公司，那么就财政司长去做研究，但是一定要快。
好，下條提問有冇英文題目？第2行中間男仔係唔記者。
Good afternoon, Mr. Lee. Some English questions from the South China Morning Post. Firstly, in your policy address, you mentioned that the government will assist local media to expand their network beyond Hong Kong to tell the good stories of Hong Kong. Could you elaborate on exactly what this means, such as what markets the government is looking at, or what outlets that the government will try to assist? And also, what will you do to ensure that the whole initiative will not backfire, as the media would then be seen as losing their credibility when they're seen as government mouthpieces? And secondly, could you also, the second question, about the accountability measure, could the government also talk a little bit about, sorry, my apologies. With the new government head's accountability scheme, sorry, my apologies. With the new head of the government accountability scheme, could you talk a little bit more about, are you worried about that having this new scheme would lead to the exodus of executive officers and administrative officer and worsen this exodus system? And also, when do you hope to apply this new heads of the government head accountability scheme? Will officers or political appointees that are involved in recent scandal, like the head of the government logistic department, Carlson Chan, would he also be covered under this new accountability scheme? Thank you.
I believe that Hong Kong has a lot of good things to offer to the world, and one being the media. The media here, you are amongst them, are professional. They have a lot to offer. What I intend to do is we do it slowly, progressively, because this is the first time I think of working together to tell the good Hong Kong story through different sectors, participants and leaders. I also find that the media industry is facing a lot of challenges. And like what I'm doing for all the family members of Hong Kong, businesses, industry, labor, whatever I can do to help them, I'll try my best. So I want to expand markets for them so that they will have new business opportunities. I think what I'm trying to do is opening doors for media to do their own things. I will not interfere with what they do, and I think our media are professional enough to impress their partners overseas. What they are doing are not just professional, but of a very high standard. I have faith in them, so that is what I believe is the right thing to do, particularly when I have this idea of making use of Hong Kong as a platform to go out of Hong Kong. So anybody who can benefit from this new policy of going out, I'll do my best to help. Because any members of this family's good will be the overall good of Hong Kong. The other reason, which I've said when I answer a similar question in Chinese, is I believe the media, they themselves have their network. And they will be helpful in telling the good and true Hong Kong story through their network. So if I can help them tell this true and good Hong Kong story, I think I should, again, try to help them. And I also want the media to know that the government takes care of all sectors. I have been establishing good communication with a lot of media friends. I hope I can build up that relations with professional reporters such as you now here, but I don't have the time. So I have to do it in an organizational way, and that is my offer in the policy address. And I think my offer is right, because I do think they are good. I do think they have a lot to offer. And I do think they can make use of their network to tell the Hong Kong story. And I do hope that by doing this, I can make business more sustainable for them. The other thing is about the HOD accountability system. I must make it clear, first of all, HOD has always been accountable to the performance of the departments, but never in the history of Hong Kong has it been systemized. And without systemizing it, there is the downside of not being certain about, first of all, who will investigate, whether it will be fair, independent, and what are the possible outcomes. Who will do the investigation? I think a system that is so clear and all laid out will be beneficial to overall morale, because uncertainty is not a healthy thing. Creating certainty is what creating system is all about. So I am telling people what this accountability system's purpose are. I've laid out 3 purposes. I have also defined very clearly the 2 levels of investigation. And I've also stated very categorically that there will be a dedicated team ready for action. They are familiar with the systems of the government and has always been involved in disciplinary matters. So they will be dealing with it impartially, efficiently, and effectively. And they will be ready. So I think this is a system which helps people to understand even more what the government wants them to do. Here, I place a special emphasis on head of department, because I always believe that policy making is the responsibility of politically appointed officials. And it has happened in my term that I have changed people, and that is the accountability system for politically appointed officials. So I can still exercise my power under that accountability system. But civil servants, they have another system regarding how to manage them. Their employment is in accordance with all laid down regulations. The management and control system of the civil servants is by and large quite good. Because if it is not good, we will not be number 2 in the world for government efficiency. So let's face it, despite the fact that even I sometimes are not happy with some of the performances, by and large, in this forest of governments, we are the 2nd tallest tree in this government forest. But I believe in continuous improvement. There's never the best, only the better. So occasionally there will be problems. And I want those problems to rectify early so that you will continue to have confidence in the government. Yes, we make mistakes, but when we have mistakes, we rectify it. I think we all are so pragmatic. And when I rectify it, there will be consequences. But you have to be clear and fair to everybody so that they know, those who are affected, know what this is all about. Clarity, systemization, and fairness are the principal ingredients here. Another purpose of creating this HOD accountability, yes, it has a punitive factor, but the main purpose is not on this. Because by and large, I think they are doing very well. There are occasional lapses. We'll deal with them. It is a system to encourage them to build an even stronger and healthier system of control and management. I look for continuous improvement. If the head of the department knows that, well, if there's no continuous improvement, there may be a problem, and then I will be accountable. They will continuously look for improvement. So this promotion of positive culture will be enhanced by this HOD accountability system. Your question about, will then people worry about this system and then not be interested in the job? If they think like this, you better go. The government has a responsibility to serve the public well. I strongly believe in the ethics and professionalism of my civil servants, that they join this government to serve the public. Particularly senior officers, when actually in the market, they are relatively not as well paid for quite a number of jobs. And that is why you see there is indeed exodus of some government officials to the private sector. They are grabbing my talents because they know they are talents, they are good. But if there is one or two particular person who are worried about this, then they're not qualified to be an HOD. One thing any leader should feel shameful about is that when his team, who are working so hard of them, they don't get the compliment they deserve, when the blame should be on the leader. I think that is what I want to change. And I do believe that my HODs are all very good. Occasionally, there are lapses, and we'll deal with those lapses, and fairly, because I've said here very clearly, according to the level of the problem. We will deal with them accordingly, whether administratively or disciplinarily. For the bad case, of course, under the disciplinary code, he can get the harshest punishment. But on the other hand, there are a lot of good, very devoted civil servants every day doing their job. You can see them when there is severe weather, they all go out. You can see them when we want to test the Kai-Tak sports stadium. They're all committed to help making this a success. So there are very, very, very many very devoted professional civil servants I feel so proud of. And this is often reflected in the #2 highest rating internationally by independent organizations' assessment. I strongly believe my HODs are very responsible officials, and we will be creating a system that will encourage people to become better.
好，下去提問。最尾嗰行綠色衫男記者。
Some questions from Hong Kong Free Press. The first question is to follow up on the new head of department accountability system. Regarding the bottled water procurement scandal last month, would an incident of that nature or that level of severity activate the new system? Also, will there be any appeal mechanism following an investigation? The other question is related to AI development. Currently, a number of leading AI tools, especially those developed by US tech companies, are not readily available in Hong Kong. Would that impede your plan to develop AI's application in Hong Kong? And does the government have plans to negotiate with foreign companies to bring more AI tools into Hong Kong? Thank you.
For the HOD accountability system, first of all, the team has to be set up through regulations made under the relevant law. It will, I think, take some time for this to be debated in LegCo. It will be a subsidiary legislation. And also we will, of course, communicate with our staff, representatives, to seek their views. But I must emphasize, there is always an HOD accountability system. There's always like this. There's always such a system. What I'm doing here is create more certainty, create its proper institutional framework, and also ensure that it will be an efficient, effective, and fair system for all. One advantage you will see in this system is usually when something happens, then there will be an inquiry to identify the problems. After the problems are identified, then there will be a second inquiry to identify misconduct. But this new HOD system can combine the two. In other words, while problems are being identified, accountability will be identified as well. And that is what it will create, is efficiency. We will shorten two processes into one. And when you talk about incident now, as I have said, the dedicated team hasn't been established, so we can't have the dedicated team to investigate it. But, as I always said, accountability always exists, whether the system comes in or not. That accountability will not go away. It will be dealt with in accordance with the present framework where we identify problems and responsibilities and deal with it accordingly. But the new system will create clarity, certainty, efficiency, impartiality, and also trust in the system. And you have talked about AI. AI, I think, is something we must do. Otherwise, we will be relegated to the end of any competition. Besides, AI does help us to do things better. One example I've quoted in my policy address is that using AI, the Census and Statistics Office, they can, out of thousands of reports published by organizations, extract that by AI, and then the efficiency increases many-fold. Another example, which I haven't mentioned in the policy address, is they may, on one occasion, have to count the number of ships in a particular sea area in order to identify the statistical product for society. What they do, they have to usually go and count the number of ships. But then with AI, with aerial photographing, then they have done an exercise to compare the results. The results is not just the same, is in fact better. And the amount of time saved is, again, many-fold. So AI is a must for efficiency enhancement. That is application only. But AI itself can be an industry, and AI has to be an industry for it to thrive, for it to prosper, for it to become even better. And one thing AI needs is, first of all, data. The second is application. In what area should it be applied? So widely promoting AI application is to make AI become AI plus. I mean, the AI plus concept is very similar to Internet. We had the stage of Internet. We have had the stage of Internet plus. In other words, Internet of Things. So what we are living now in the world is everything is connected. So it's not just a network, it's not just Internet, it's Internet plus. So AI will develop to a stage where it will become AI plus. In other words, it will not just be a tool. It will not just be an industry. It will integrate different areas. So we may have quite a different way of living through AI, something we have to keep watching and see how it develops. So AI is a must, and our position is clear. Hong Kong is a free port, is an open society, so we'll welcome any technology, any companies that come in. And foreign companies that have been setting up offices in Hong Kong has reached record high, and that is reflected in my policy address. So we welcome companies from different parts of the world to come to Hong Kong for business, AI or non-AI. And that is what Hong Kong is about. It's a free and open port. It is a place where we will have no control on capital, people-to-people travel, money, and also data, goods. So this is a free Hong Kong where we make the place convenient to do business and business friendly.
OK， 最後一條啦，我哋右手邊中間個女記者黑色衫。
Hello， 特首你好，讀媒嘅，咁就有3條問題想問啦。咁今年咧唔達標嘅 KPI 咧就有3項。請問兩條問題，兩條問題唔該。OK， 好，咁今年唔達標嘅 KPI 咧就有3項，咁部分咧就係嚟自發展局啦。咁睇翻上年咧有唔達標嘅局長咧就係被更換。咁今年特首有冇話觀察到邊位嘅司長係表現唔好，有冇更換官員嘅想法咧？咁而第二題咧就係關於部門首長責任制嘅。咁其實當問責官員發現唔到嚴重或者系統風險啦，導致一啲事態發生，佢哋嘅責任係點樣去查找同埋點樣釐清？會唔會俾人感覺新嘅機制係高官卸責制？同埋部長部門首長如果只係遵從司長嘅指示啦，最終政策出現失誤嘅時候，部門首長係唔係都要去被查被罰呢？如果係咁嘅話，擔唔擔心影響公務員嘅士氣？例如公務員係怕孭鑊而唔敢升職咁樣嘅問題？唔該。
首先，我對於而家嘅問責官員咧，我係滿意佢哋嘅表現嘅。我亦都好多謝今次施政報告。好多內容都係由不同嘅局長同埋司長提出嘅，亦都睇到佢哋做出嚟嘅成績喺呢3年咧係不斷進步嘅，所以我係滿意嘅。佢哋亦都好支持我嘅施政理念，好多開創性嘅一啲諗法都係由司局長同佢哋嘅部門一齊諗出嚟。所以我哋凝聚咗一個以結果為目標嘅政府，仲係願意改革、肯創新、行政措施呢啲都係佢哋好願意大家喺經過我哋做一啲腦震盪之後提出嘅意見，所以我係滿意佢哋嘅。第二咧係部門首長問責制，我想再強調呢個問責制部門首長問責制咧不取代現有任何嘅問責機制。再重複，現時部門首長都要為自己部門嘅不是負上責任嘅。第二咧，公務員亦都有佢個人為自己嘅表現問責嘅，呢個喺 我哋嘅公務員守則寫得好清楚，佢哋係 accountable for performance 啊，英文嘅用語，咁佢哋叫做績效問責啊，譯出嚟。部門首長問責制會令到部門首長更盡責。雖然而家部門首長都係好願意承擔責任，但係我相信更加鼓勵是係因為大家都知道部門首長有責任承擔嘅明確性，所以下級嘅人員佢只需要承擔自己真真正正犯錯嘅責任，而唔會有任何責任能夠推卸俾佢哋。所以我係好